What's going on guys, Unknown Player here, and today we'll be looking at gameplay of all three exotic swords in action. So the Raze Lighter, Dark Drinker and Bolt Caster, all three of the swords and all of their special R2 attacks as well. And let me know in the comment section which sword you have out of the three, or if you don't have one, which one do you want to get. So I finally got myself an exotic sword. It does take quite a long line of quests to obtain and they're pretty time consuming steps. And one of them involves waiting until the next Wednesday for Arms Day packages, and that's why I only just got mine right now. So we're going to look at these swords and I'm going to talk about my experience getting them and all that good stuff. So here's the Raze Lighter, and I'll go over the perks of all three swords so you can see what they do and what they look like briefly. You can see quite a few of the perks involve carrying more ammo, which is definitely very helpful because a lot of these special R2 attacks take 5 ammo per use. That is definitely needed. And as of course on the swords you've got the R1 swipe for 1 ammo, you've got a jumping R2 uppercut for 2 ammo, and the special R2 attack is 5 ammo, so that does a lot of damage but it's going to drain a lot of your ammunition. And also there's a block feature of course that the legendary swords have as well. That's definitely very handy too. So let's take a look at the three special R2 moves. The Raze Lighter's R2 attack is called Phoenix Uppercut, and it's, as it sounds, it's basically a flaming uppercut which deals ridiculous damage to any enemy, and it's more of a focused attack. It's really made for mages or bosses, anything with a decent amount of health that you want to take down fast, and it's definitely a very, very good attack. The Bolt Caster is really cool. Its special R2 attack is called Sword of Thunder, and this basically shoots a disc of electricity wherever you aim, and you can see Oki performing that right here with his sword. It's an insane attack that's got really good range. It damages them, it stuns them for a bit, and also leaves an area of effect Lightning Bolt, which damages more enemies. And I believe it also chains between nearby enemies, so it's pretty ridiculous, and it's really cool to have a range attack on a sword. That makes it very good in Crucible, so definitely a very unique weapon right there. And then finally we have the Dark Drinker. This is of course the Void Sword, and its special R2 attack is called Supermassive Vortex. You can see more console demonstrating this right now, and it's a swirling vortex attack where you spin the sword around you, and it's cool because it damages anything that's near you in the radius. This is definitely meant for being surrounded by multiple enemies, like thralls for example, and it's going to wipe out a ton of enemies that are in close proximity from each other. So all three of the swords have very good specific roles, and they're all good for certain things. The Raze Lighter is meant for enemies with a lot of health, and it's more of a focused attack. The Bolt Caster is good for range attacks and probably the best in Crucible, and the Dark Drinker clears out loads of ads that might be surrounding you and get you out of some tough situations. So those are the three exotic swords, really good weapons to have, but how you get them is definitely quite difficult and probably quite worth it for these amazing weapons. You need to get a legendary sword. If you don't know how to do that, I've made a separate video detailing exactly how to do that, and I'll link that video in the description if you want to watch it. Once you have a legendary sword, you need to infuse it up to 280 attack, and then you get a quest from Lord Shaxx to kill mages and people in the Crucible with it. Then you need to go and kill this special guy called Ekthar, the Sword of Oryx, and he is in the Dreadnought that you can access by killing all three wardens outside a door at the same time, and that opens a door and leads you to an area where you can have a fight with him, and his shield can only be taken down by swords, and after that you can damage him normally, but it's basically going to be a sword fight, and it's actually a really fun encounter. I really enjoyed doing that, and having a sword fight with an enemy is really fun to do. No ads around, just you versus him, and if you've got some fire team members with you, that's going to make it a little bit easier, but it helps you get used to the sword mechanics and blocking and how to basically have a one-on-one sword fight. It's a really cool encounter. Then after that you need to go and farm some materials depending on what sword you're going after, and this part is a massive grind. It's going to take a few hours. It doesn't matter how many materials you already have, you need to go and farm brand new materials. In my case I needed helium filaments for the solar sword, and it took me around 200 to 300 items before I got the 10 items that I needed from the helium filaments. And after that you need to get ability kills of the element that you're doing, and that is again just as bad of a grind. It takes quite a while, so it's going to take you a good few hours to do these. Once you do that, you've got a special version of the Sunless Cell Strike to do, where you kill the Knight corresponding to your element and also Dark Blade within 30 seconds of each other. And after that you're finally done, and it's finally time to get that sword. And it's really time consuming quest, but absolutely worth it when you get this 310 attack sword. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. Feel free to give it a thumbs up if you did, and I'll see you guys in the next one.